Well, North Wrestling, sponsored very kindly by the app 80s Mania Wrestling and 90s Extreme, the card game. If you fancy yourself as a mini Mr. McMahon, or maybe a mini Andrew Bowers, this is the way to do it. That was Matthew Gregg.
I'm playing the game in the background, I'm sorry.
That was there would be boop, boop, boop. Matthew hasn't played a video game since 1983 by the sound of it.
My spaceship's been shot down now, Tom.
To bring to the ring the team of Rory Coyle and Boss Bam, the Sons of Ulaid.
Well, this was supposed to be the Sons of Ulaid, the top team here at North Wrestling, taking on CCK, the best boys. However, this is the wrestling business, Tom. Things happen, both men out with injuries, sadly. Again, it's just the wrestling business, but that's the polite version of things. I'm sure the Sons of Ulaid are going to take this as the professionals know them to be. Very nice. Like, explain to the crowd exactly what's going to happen now. So we don't know what's going to happen now. Maybe there's another team in the back that will take them on.
Rory Coyle is nothing less than a Shakespeare, and I'm sure he'll have his own way to talk about the events of. So obviously, as we may know from the very top of our evening tonight at XOXOX, it was, as my colleague said, meant to be Sons of Ulaid versus CCK.
Yeah, but there's Kid Lagos. Oh, no, it's Rory. Oh, sorry, Tom, carry on.
However, CCK can't be here.
I haven't seen him without his mask on. I didn't realize.
CCK can't be here, but if you've ever tried to get a return train ticket from Lake Ulaid to Newcastle refunded, it's a nightmare. So, Sons of Ulaid are here anyway. They've got something to say, and we're going to let them.
Now, if this is your first North Wrestling show, if you have a nervous disposition, I think it's the correct term, now would be a good time to get a cup of tea or go pet your dog.
And if you have a swear jar at home, you might want to get some coins on standby. Rory Coyle very much isn't one to mince his words. If this ends up on YouTube, this is why it will be demonetized.
Hello, Liam.
Hi, Liam. How you doing?
So, I don't know if he's expecting us to be in a fucking busty alley pally. Like the rest of the soft fucks that make up fucking wrestling. But the two fucking sick boys are here. I'm gonna apologize because last time I think I offended a couple of people, a couple of the vets in the back. We're saying Rory Coyle swears a bit too much. Swears a bit much, bass. So you know what? Still my fucking fire. So you know what? Anyone in the back that thinks that we're a bit too much, thinks that we swear a bit too much, that we take a few too many fucking steroids, that we're a bit too fucking sick. You can all jump on the fucking busty alley pally and go fuck yourself. I'm not here to bury anyone. I'm not here to fucking shoot. Is that what you marks call it? I'm just here to call it like it is. We were meant to have a match tonight. We don't have a match tonight. We have come to this company. I've kicked fucking the Don Black. You more or less fucking rigged Liam Slater. We have beat the shit into everyone that's come into this ring. And now we don't have anyone. So maybe Mrs. Coyle was right. Maybe we're not allowed to play with the best boys. Maybe we should fucking take our stuff. Because you all recognize this. Shut your fucking mouth, you fucking mark. You all recognize this from the fucking promo that Glenn Joseph was spoken over. Maybe we should take our stuff and run all back home and just play, just me and you. You guys are sick. You're not my little fucking brother. How about we roll back the fucking hands of time to before I was fucking held together by duct tape and just a fucking prayer, and we play one more time. Lads, we know how this goes. The only difference is you haven't got my fucking man to pull me off you when I'm kicking the fucking shit out of you this time. Let's pick up the wall back. Someone send me these fucking drinks fast. Pick up the fucking ball and let's play.
This is the strangest thing I've ever seen in a North Wrestling ring. Are we going to see Rory Coyle and Bass Ban? We are! Oh my God! The Sons of Ulaid have exploded!
Not since Kane Dingle versus Butch Dingle have they been this hyped for a brother versus brother contest.
And here we go! Lake Ulaid comes to Newcastle! Rory and Bass Ban! This is certainly one way to get around the card changing. Have Ulaid fight each other.
An expression, iron sharpens iron. This is one way the Sons of Ulaid stay on top form as the best tag team in North Wrestling.
Iron sharpens iron and Ulaid sharpens Ulaid. Down goes Rory at the hands of Bass Ban. So hey, look, I'm gonna throw the sheets out. This is what we got. So we got Rory Coyle and Bass Ban. Bass Ban, I'm gonna say, probably the strongest. Rory, probably the smartest.
You're one big fucking bastard.
And the most profane.
Don't worry about calling your own brother a bastard. Anyway.
And Bass has got Rory by the throat. Rory breaks it.
Fucking wanker.
Oh, and he misses with the hockey stick.
Hockey stick, hockey bat, same thing. Oh, sends him in the turnbuckle.
There's a reluctance from Bass Ban. And Rory smacking the legs of Bass Ban with that hockey bat.
And apparently this is no DQ.
Rory cutting Bass Ban down like a tree. He goes to crown him, and Bass knocking his brother down. Now Rory's begging off. Rory was the one that was calling for this. And now he's backing away from Bass Ban.
I think he was too serious with that begging off. But proves that Rory will do anything to win a match, even against his own brother.
And this is the incredible thing about the Sons of Ulaid. This is why the tag team division in North Wrestling is slightly intimidated, if not incredibly intimidated, by the Sons of Ulaid. If they're willing to do this to each other, what will they do to other people?
Well said, Tom. I'm beginning to suspect maybe CCK were in actual 100% condition. They just saw the video package the Sons of Ulaid put out and thought, you know what, my back's a bit sore. If
I was the CCK, I want nothing to do with these two. From Lake Ulaid.
Yeah, you know what, you two are best boys. It's okay. We'll be second best boys. Not best brothers right now, though, as Rory Coyle continues to punch the masked face of Bass Ban.
And Bass
blocks it, though.
It's my belief that Bass is probably the strongest out of these two. Huge! Oh, thunderous forearms! It's like thunder strikes across the lake. Huge strikes by Bass and Rory Coyle, back and forth.
As Dave Mustaine said, brother will kill brother. Spilled blood across the land. We've seen that tonight in North Wrestling. Oh, and a big close on by Bass Bam. The Hills have eyes. They're going to have big-ass bruises tomorrow morning as well.
If they filmed Godzilla and the Hills have eyes at the same time, it would look a bit like this. And Bass Bam stands over his brother. And oh!
God, he just twatted him. I wish there was a better way of saying that in English language.
I think you nailed it, mate. He did that word.
I'm sorry, it's North Wrestling. But this is hardly a family-friendly show after that promo.
And Bass is aiming again. Aiming for his brother again.
Oh,
rolls him up. And Rory's beaten Bass with an inside cradle.
Rory was holding his face. Rory was showing how hurt he was. So Bass Bam checked on him.
Worried. So Bass Bam shows sympathy for his brother Rory Coyle, which led to an inside cradle, lest I point out, the only wrestling move we just saw. Winning the match for Rory Coyle.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the match, Rory Coyle.
Mixed reaction there.
Amazingly, throughout that match, you could feel the reluctance from Bass Bam to really unload those punches. Every so often, Bass would stop and just allow his brother time to get back together. And it ended up costing him in what was one of the most unique impromptu matches. And Bass hands his brother the ball.
And the crowd appreciates that. I mean, it's a very northern thing to fall out with your brother. You get in a scrap, you vent, then you make up afterwards. It's all right. Wait, what am I on? Nothing of that was normal.
Not a single bit of that was normal. That was like a Lake Ulaid family reunion.
Aye. Their family pool could do with some chlorine, but they reunited.
After watching what the Sons of Ulaid did to each other, my question is, why would any tag team, let alone CCK, get into the ring with the Sons of Ulaid?
Well, hopefully they'll face off with some better competition than CCK next time. The 4th of November. Fire, fire, fire!
You cannot imagine a match more peculiar than that one. You can certainly attempt to put one together. Thanks to our sponsors, 80s WrestleMania and 90s Extreme, the wrestling sim game. If you fancy yourself as a Vince McMahon or an Andrew Bowers, you can book your own wrestling shows. You can get the app right now. Next time we're back with you is Saturday the 4th of November at the Riverside. A fireworks spectacular, if you will. Fire, fire, fire. Presented by North Wrestling.